Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Let's check right in, shall we? Spirit, what is it the collective needs to know about the energies right now? Hermit. The Hermit in the upright. Somebody shining some light on something. Searching for wisdom and truth. Challenged by challenged by the Six of Pentacles. So apparently whoever this is challenged by generosity. In the subconscious. Take the top one. In the subconscious. Ooh, I'll take more than that. In the subconscious. In the subconscious, we've got, excuse me, there's a celebration because justice has been served over those who are bringing conflict. And on behalf of those who persevered such conflict. All four of those cards came out right here. So this is what this person is meditating on. They're challenged because these are generous, caring people. Okay, so in the recent past, the Hierophant. So the Most High himself could be here serving justice on institutions which were, I guess, in charge, in command, in authority over society and its rules, leading society into a sense of conformity. So they had a specific task, and there you go. And intention and expectation is the Fool, new beginnings. The near future. The Chariot. There will be forward movement. Somewhat of a departure, perhaps. A departure from what was into what will be. The lens that's being looked through. Excuse me. So there's a Six of Cups and a Page of Cups in the upright. So in these new innocent beginnings that are being set, there is a return to innocence. Yeah, innocence. The Fool is innocence, right? And so there's a return to these innocent, youthful, sensitive, new loves that are, everybody dreams about. And everybody hopes that it'll go right? Everybody hopes that it will. So this is the lens that everybody's looking through. You got these new, innocent, brand new, and that's why the song that's been playing through my mind lately, that young love, sweet love, and that's what's going on here. We're coming into new love. So new contracts, new relationships. And I don't mean relationship in the third party situations of the previous cycle, okay? And I don't mean relationships as in what can it do for me, right? I mean in partnerships. We're in to become one and you build something together. And unfortunately, in the previous cycle, many masculines and feminines were lured into abandoning their partner for many partners and wealth. And that caused a lot of suffering in the world. A lot of suffering in the world. This betrayal, the betrayal in partnerships, which caused people to have to just survive. I mean, it's really dark what they were doing to their counterparts. It's really dark what they were doing to the earth angels. But they got lured away. In the environment, we have a Knight of Swords rushing in. Ambitious, and they're defending their beliefs. They're like, hold up, Justice. Hold up, Hierophant. And hopes and fears. Well, just going to take all those because they all came out. No, huh? So what we have here, I guess, we've got strength. These are strong 10 of Cups. These aren't like the previous cycle. These are strong unions built from those abandoned counterparts that had to persevere through some dark, tricky shit, man. So those that persevered and were able to come out of that and still hold on to their open heart and their ability to have love and compassion for life, they're coming into strong unions. These are proven individuals. Even though it's a young love, these are proven individuals. They have passed the test. And this leaves an 8 of Cups for these ones, this Hermit and this Knight of Swords, because they have to walk away. They have to leave it behind. In the outcome, we've got the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. So there will be, this is beautiful, you know, because you're going to get a routine and it's going to require effort. And I think that this is part of what went wrong in the previous cycle. People got lazy, man. People got lazy. They got the big fat cat syndrome, you know? Because this is hard work and it requires dedication and responsibility. And that is what we're coming into. It's not extravagant. It isn't flamboyant. It isn't something you go flash before the eyes to awe somebody about your importance or your wealth. It's about responsibility and respectability, productivity, hard work, routine, efficiency, being the best that you can be, finding the most effective ways to do things with the minimum necessary, right? I mean, yeah, it's the Seven of Pentacles. It's the long-term view. It's not about satisfaction of every sense in every moment, right? It's about having a vision and moving toward that vision in a slow and steady way, because if you get there too quickly, there's going to be gaps all over the place and it will crumble. All sustainable results come from a diligent investment, which is steady, which can persevere challenges and continue in support of this vision, right? It takes effort. And in the previous cycle, I think everybody can see that the majority of people who held wealth really didn't want to apply any effort whatsoever. They just wanted to go dress up in their suits, spend 3 hours in the hall, you know, once every month or whatever, to tell the citizenry what they were going to do, right? So, yeah, lazy mofos. Probably can't sustain themselves out of a wet paper bag. Got to have somebody deliver their ice cream for them, right? Whatever. Don't get me started. This is supposed to be a happy moment. Oh. It is impressive, collective, how you learned to laugh in the face of trauma, to bring balance so that you could then harmonize it and transmute it from a balanced state. You did phenomenal. I would like to tell you this because it's true. So this hermit here, who's introspecting, he's the chicken. He's the chicken. He's soul searching. He's challenged by you generous souls. He's challenged by you. I mean, look at you. You've got a Six of Pentacles. You've got 6 pentacles. And you're giving it away. You're not even wealthy by any means. But what you have, you share. This chicken is really messed up about that. Because it put you in the limelight. put you in the limelight. And there's a celebration here. Justice is being served on this betrayal, on this deception, on behalf of those who persevered. Yeah. He knows he's a wise guy. Or maybe he feels the deliverer of justice is a wise guy. I don't know. But it's this wise guy who was betraying people, strategically tricking them, taking everything from them, leaving them with very little tools to defend themselves with. I mean, he did the most. He did the most, and now he's thinking about it. He's like, what the hell? He had no idea that this was ever going to turn out this way. He had no idea that the Most High, the one who oversaw this, whatever this is, would not see it his way. I guess he thought he was real slick. The Hierophant is here with the hospitality. He's dishing it out. He's like, cheers. Cheers to those with generous and giving hearts. And he's handing out new beginnings and possibilities to those who are innocent and free of this betrayal. You know, the ones who persevered, not the ones who dished it out. So they're going to be very happy pretty soon. They're going to have lots and lots of reasons to laugh. There's the Chariot here in the upright. They're going to be leaving. They're going to be departing. Because they're seen as perfectly innocent. They're going to get a new love. A new curious love, full of firsts. First this, a first that. They're creators, they're artists. They get an opportunity to go create. Two minds coming together to so somebody, there's a Knight of Swords here in the environment. He's not happy. He's rushing in, trying to defend his beliefs. He's trying to defend himself against being disconnected. These are strong unions, divine love and harmony. And he has to walk away. He's disconnected. He's disappointed. These unions are important. There's a Knight of Pentacles here in the outcome. And so there will be work to do. know what I love about this? Is it's you got the Knight of Pentacles working hard, and you've got your Seven of Pentacles. It's regaining control, mastery, choices, responsibility, myth and secrets. You get to merge your essence with your work, with what you're creating. You get to give it life. And it's not extravagant. You know how the seed, comes forth from its shell, and it's just this little tiny sprout, and it's so delicate, and it requires delicate care. This is beautiful. And it's not extravagant at all, but it's everything. You know what I'm saying? It's almost invisible, and yet it is everything. It holds all potentialities, and you can't see it. It looks like it's non-existent hardly, if you can even see the tip of the sprout coming up out of the ground, But it really is like that mustard seed. It takes eyes to see, and some people just don't have it. You know why? Because it's not seen with the eyes, and it's not even seen with the spiritual eyes. It's seen with the heart. It's seen with the essence, right? So this came out in the reverse. It's not here and now. Something's not here and now. We'll have to clarify that to see what that is. And there's a player on the bottom of the deck. And maybe it's this player. Oh, okay, I'll take both cards then. Oh, okay, I'll take all three of these. Well, I'll take the two, and then I'll let you know. No, I'll take the three, and I'll let you know. So, who is not here on the outcome? Let me get these in the right order for you. Player is not here, and this player who is a witch is not here and now. They're not in the outcome. They don't show up there. So they're not here now. The witch, who is a player, is not here now on the outcome. There's a backstory to this fight. You stayed in your purpose, and you were able to preserve yourself, most likely with the help of your angels and your spirit guides and your guardians and all of that. Those who were in competition wanted your appearance. They wanted to be you. They wanted to be you. They wanted to go where you were going to go. They wanted to be you. But you defended yourself optimistically. You stayed in good spirits. And just by being you, change is happening. All you had to do was be you. You did hard labor. You did a cycle of hard labor, and there will be justice. There will be justice for those who are vain, for what they did, for making those who shine invisible, while expecting to play with their inheritance. This particular ancestry is going to be taught a lesson. I guess by the sovereign who were seen as nothing more than entertainment by these ones. There's a spiritual throne here for you. They tried to steal your spiritual throne, and they were using all of their knowledge and divination tools to do it. And they toxified you, poisoned you, fed you foods that weren't really foods, gave you pharmaceutical synthetic medicines, and poisoned your body, dimmed your glow, siphoned your vitality, and then filled you up with fluoride that shut down your pineal gland so you couldn't shine. I mean, wow, man, they really went all out. And then they put you in shame, anger, fear, self-loathing, addictions, which polluted your vessel even further, I mean, man, they did it all. They did it all. But you don't have to worry because it was seen. Okay, you've gotten forgiveness because you're faithful. Even while you were swimming in this cesspool of suffering, I mean, your prayers were heard. The fact that you have faith and an open, loving heart, despite all the crap that you were swimming in, causing you so much suffering and pain. They did this to you because they wanted your things. They left you with the bare minimum. They wanted to steal your love. They wanted your love. They wanted your divine love. But they refused to work on themselves, to create it within themselves. They thought they could steal it somehow. They left you haunted, this snake did. They thought their perception was in error. They didn't realize you were going to survive. They had such a small view of you. They did not know you were going to survive. Just as you are. Sick, suffering, angry, in the pit of hell itself. You somehow found peace within yourself. They tried to martyr you. You sweet earth angel. They tried to martyr you. They were creating all this conflict because they wanted your privilege. They were puppeting wholesome people, manipulating their minds, manipulating their lives, spinning their good view of self into some sort of self-loathing. The mothers and the child and the peace that they bring will be remembered this new cycle. There will be peace for the mother and the child. All of the drama and the lack of a foundation, the absent fathers, they would impregnate people and then just continue to go around from woman to woman and sow their wild oats, and they were never responsible for anything, and the feminine had to sit there alone with her child. In this new cycle, she will be remembered and she will be cared for. The family will. It's important. It's valuable. These ones were just out worshiping their own phallus, and I think they probably kept a little book about how many holes they could stick it in. I don't know, man. It was like wild. It's totally out of control. They saw everything as an object, and not everything. The promise, the new promise, goes to the conscientious, those who are conscientious. These ones are trying to spy on the location of these new leaders, or they're trying to spy on the location of these new leaders who are in leadership now. Yeah, this whole tribe is now in leadership. There's a new tribe in leadership now, and they're done exploring. They're done exploring the depth of this cesspool, and they're going home. And the prophecy of evermore will be, these divine unions are coming together. Do nothing. Do nothing. Okay, this is ending. People might lose their bodies. And the creators, you know what they did? They cared for themselves. They healed. They brought themselves into harmony and balance, and they learned how to love themselves when the whole world told them they weren't worth it. They turned inward. They said, screw you, world. I'm gonna make up my own fantasy about how life should be created in me. And that's what you did. I think many of us did. And these addicts who were looking for attention, they were little attention whores, using religion to cause hardship for people, who were arcana, here in service to the people. The messenger has delivered. Those who visited, there was a visitor who decided to drive. I think this is saying that there was a visitor, a planetary visitor, perhaps another, a visitor, maybe a tribe of visitors, whatever. But they drove the bodies, the minds, mental manipulation, mind control and stuff. And this visitor did mind control on the people, and whoever was in charge of the previous cycle allowed it. And they threw all of these arcana who were here in service to life under the bus, thinking that they could steal their glory. They could just absorb it. They thought they could just absorb it. They really did. By just taking your vitality, by making you sick, mentally and physically, that they were just draining your life force, and they thought that they could just absorb it and then have your divine union as you. They didn't think that the Most High was intelligent enough to figure it out. They didn't think that this collective family, under this huge umbrella, I believe they really thought that they had them all separated. You know, I mean, the family of the Most High is in many spaces and places, many realms, right? Upper and lower. And this is a multiverse of many spaces and places. And this is one little particular area. Oh, they did well. They did really well, you know, and we should be grateful that we were able to learn so much. Because now we have an abundance of wisdom that we can carry forth with us regarding these types of attacks. I really feel that this is one of the greatest blessings that the Most High has permitted for our own growth and expansion. And so I think it's really important that we remember when we visit dark spaces and places within our mind and in our lives, that it's simply an opportunity to gather information and knowledge, and then the strength to pull us up out of that space, right? So you become stronger, you become wiser, and you expand and become more than you were before. And when you rise, you are equipped to deal with whatever comes at you from those particular places you have been. You now have wisdom. And not only do you carry it within you, encoded within every fiber of your being, you are now a teacher of that wisdom. And so, be happy. You're seen as perfect by the Most High. I'm going to leave this one here, and I'll see you on the next one.